Jude Bellingham's rise in English football has been monumental. He went from the Birmingham boy to the Dortmund destroyer, and now he is a gargantuan Galactico at Real Madrid. But in recent times on social media, a lot of people have been holding Jude Bellingham to account, criticising some of his performances at the Euros. I, for one, thought it was a bit harsh. He literally clawed us from the jaws of defeat. I was there in the stadium watching that overhead kick. He was who else? That's what it was. Who else? I've even got a picture of myself doing the pose because it was so iconic. But on social media recently, a lot of people have been debating Jude Bellingham's form and if he is being overhyped, and hence drawing comparisons with the one and only Dele Alli. Hence why I brought this debate to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, because of the Tottenham links basically. So today I'm going to be arguing that at the same age, probably Dele Alli was the better player than Jude Bellingham. And if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, why don't you drop a like and subscribe, and also become a member in the link in the description down below. So yeah, the debate is quite weird because, Jude Bellingham is on a path where he doesn't look like slowing down. He's already won a Champions League and he's already won a La Liga. He could have won a Euros at the measly age of 21. It is quite, amazing to believe that this is the case. He is also could be on course to win a Ballon d'Or with this trophy haul, but yet to be seen. We've got to see what happens towards the end of the year. But at the same age, 21 years of age, which, Jude Bellingham is now, Dele Alli was pulling up trees. We all know about the story of Dele Alli. He came from MK Dons for £5 million. We loaned him back. And then he set the Premier League alight, breaking records for a player who just was unstoppable. He just looked like he was going to go on leaps and bounds. But we've seen in recent times, obviously, Dele Alli moved to Everton. He's gone on loan to the likes of Besiktas and has had struggles with his mental health. But, as I say, back in when he was 21, he was putting up some amazing numbers that were better than Jude Bellingham. So at the same age, when Bellingham, obviously he's now 21, after 155 games, he scored 30 goals and had 30 assists. And similarly, Dele Alli, 46 goals, 41 assists in 146 games. And we remember, the performances against Chelsea, those two absolutely monumental headers. The chip against Arsenal in the League Cup. He was really like that Jude Bellingham, taking games by the scruff of the neck at such a young age and becoming a clutch player. And, they get compared all the time because of their similar attitude. That sort of edge that they both have, the sort of, anger, but a good anger, that one that they're gonna, drag their team through if there is no tomorrow. And occasionally it got the likes of both of them in trouble. We've seen Bellingham's been sent off recently. He's been doing gestures to the crowd. Same with Dele Alli. Dele Alli was sort of that flair player who had a bit of attitude. They get compared also because, Dele Alli was a bit like a false nine sometimes, a second striker to Harry Kane, would play in midfield, versatile. Same with Bellingham, started off deeper and again was playing quite a false nine for Real Madrid as well as the season went on last year. But the comparisons, obviously the goal scoring comparisons are incredible. We also have other comparisons that have been made. Ben Davies actually made a comparison between the two quite recently on ESPN.
He could have at that time been similar to like a Bellingham kind of player. Now someone who maybe not technically as good as Jude is, but ultimately the game comes down to scoring goals. Yeah, Dele used to find a way to score and assist pretty much every game, and he used to just cause nightmares for opposition midfield. I remember speaking to Joe Allen at Wales camp, and him being like, Dele just didn't stop running. He was like, he was horrible to play against because one minute he was here and the next minute he's already 20 yards away from me, and I don't know whether I should follow him. I get the ball, I think I'm free, and Dele's already on me. It was just a guy who just never stopped.
And you've got to remember some of those amazing records that Dele Alli was setting in the Premier League. He was involved in 40 Premier League goals before turning 21. A remarkable stat considering that is more than Frank Lampard, 15, Steven Gerrard, 13, and David Beckham, 12 combined. And, Dele Alli, he could have been one of those players who was going to go on leaps and bounds and could have probably gone on that same trajectory as a Jude Bellingham. You could have seen him playing in the white for Real Madrid instead of the white of Tottenham Hotspur. But it did not go to plan. We've obviously know about his troubles that Dele Alli had. As I say, he went on loan to Everton, who then made it permanent, and then he went on to Besiktas as well. He fell out with Jose Mourinho. We all remember that infamous Jose Mourinho clip from the Amazon documentary where he sort of said, "Is it Dele Alli's brother?" or something like that. Whereas Jude Bellingham, he's sort of been crafted along the way to be that next big star. He made the humble move to Borussia Dortmund, a risky move. You got to remember that Jude Bellingham has not played in the top flight of the Premier League of English football. He went to Dortmund, he went over there, he played with the likes of Erling Haaland and Jadon Sancho, and then made the move to Real Madrid at that young age, younger than David Beckham was when he made that similar move. But we know what the English media can be like. The way they build a player up, they could easily pull them down and make them crumble. And that's my one worry for Jude Bellingham. I don't want him to go down that same path as Dele Alli. Dele Alli was applauded, but he was slated at the same time, and I just never understood it. Dele Alli was one of the best players I've ever seen in a Tottenham shirt. This exact Tottenham shirt. The way he'd link up with Kane and Son was amazing. And I just think some of the comments I've seen about Jude Bellingham following the Euros was quite damning and worrying, and I don't know why he's being held to account as much. He's still so very young. He's still, he's part of the England, what do they call it? The England senior leadership team, where, he's with Harry Kane, Declan Rice and Carl Walker. He's part of that because of, his capabilities as a player. He could be a future England captain. Dele Alli could have been a future England captain. Dele Alli is still setting his sights on probably going to the 2026 World Cup.
Listen, you've had loads of time to reflect on it all over the last couple of years, Dele. What's your head at in terms of thinking about why perhaps you weren't able to maintain those levels that we saw from those earlier years at Spurs?
I think a lot of different things off the pitch. I think I spoke about it in my interview. I don't want to go over it too much again, but I know my level as a player. I know what I can get to. I know how good I can be when my head's in the right place, and I'm feeling good. Obviously disappointed with the injury right now, but I'm just excited to get playing again. It's hard for me to even watch football. Obviously I've come on here and watched that, but it's just been tough for me. This past, say, 8 months has been hard to watch.
What type of level do you think you can get back to? You've obviously had problems, but you've been out for a long time, injury this season. Do you think you can get back to what you were?
I hope so. I have a reminder, you can set reminders on your phone. I have a reminder every 11 o'clock every day, World Cup 2026. So that's my aim for now. I think people would be like, oh, he hasn't played in a year, but I don't care. I know where my level is.
So the situation is you're out of contract this summer. You will be a free agent. What sort of club are you thinking? What are we talking about here? You're 28, or you just turned 28. So, in theory, there is a lot of time ahead. But where are you setting your targets?
The only target I have is the World Cup for now. I think, obviously, I'm injured right now. I'm signed to Everton. So my mind is just take it day by day, make sure my injury heals right, make sure I'm in the best possible condition after summer.
Do you think you'll be fit for the pre-season?
Yeah, I'll be it's annoying because I'll be just fully training as the season's ending. So I'm okay, it gives me it's annoying, but also, as a player, when you're getting close, you want to push yourself, and I think maybe that's what happened the first time. I got too close, and I was okay, I'm there. Let me just push it. Showing in the test, okay, I'll do the running test. I'll get top end of the team, even though I've been injured. I want to push on and show that I'm there. And sometimes you just need to relax and be okay, let's not rush this.
But yeah, I just think Dele Alli, I'm hoping he can resurrect his career sooner rather than later. He is still, he has so much potential, but he was showing it at the time. He was never able to hit his peak. He's getting onto the latter stage of his career now. But Jude Bellingham, the world is still his oyster, but he's got to remain in that bubble. He's got to make sure he is protecting himself and not being influenced by those around him. I feel like he could go on to be one of the greats, but constant comparisons to Zidane is not helpful. That's what I want from a player. Jude Bellingham, there's been some jokes that he could come to Tottenham eventually because of links to his family or his dad and stuff like that. Even his brother, Jude Bellingham, has been linked with moves to Spurs. But I just think I've always had this opinion when it comes to young footballers. Don't, praise them too early, because you never know what could happen. They could have a career-ending injury just gone like that. And it sounds like I'm being negative, but I just worry about the fact of players and how they can cope in the modern game. But yeah, that's my opinion on the matter. Obviously, I do think Jude Bellingham, I think they're at a similar level at the same age. But Jude Bellingham could go on and burst through. I know he's won a Champions League already, but Dele Alli could have won a Champions League. I feel like he could have gone on that career path. He just needed to, really have better people around him making those decisions for him and helping him on his path. Tottenham didn't probably help him with that. I feel like, the change of managers and, just really didn't play in his favour. So hopefully, I wish Dele Alli the best of luck for his career, and I hope that Jude Bellingham can go on one more step and be one of those famous English players that we'll be talking about for years to come. But let me know, what did you think of the video? Do you agree with me about Dele Alli and Jude Bellingham? Could they be compared, or are they different players on different paths? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And until next time, I've been Sonny, and I'll catch you very soon. Ciao.